Welcome, internet friends. It has been a long time since we've had a sit-down chat like this. Technically, it's been never, because this is a new room setup. This is actually my office, and there's someone off camera, you'll see him in a minute, going to test this out for a while for several reasons, which I'll get to in a moment. I wanted to talk really quickly, not quickly, this is gonna be the longest part of the video, let's be real, about what's been going on the channel with me, with a bunch of stuff this year, and at the end we're going to have a fun little Q&A featuring said special guest. So while things may look a bit dark at the beginning of this video and you may see me get a tad emotional, I'm gonna try not to cry. That's your job. Don't let me cry. But I promise we'll end on a light note because I need that, and I think we all need that. And that's sort of the whole point of this video. Fun fact, I ate my feelings for 8 months straight, but you don't have to tell me. I've gained weight. I already know. Working on it, lifting heavy things, eating good things 70% of the time.
It's a statistic.
Yeah, I'm stalling. Okay, let's get into this. First, I want to make this clear. No matter what channel changes you hear me talking about in this video, Dark Matters, Nameless, Forgotten Files, and subscriber story times are not going anywhere. My hope is to be able to put out 2 to 3 case videos a month, at least 1 subscriber story time a month, and have more time to spend on those videos due to the other content I want to start sort of playing around with, and I'll get to that later. But here is where I will start. Okay. So I almost quit YouTube. There were a handful of nights over the span of a few months where I just broke emotionally. I had some of the worst panic attacks of my life and nearly deleted everything a couple of times. And it felt painful to try and make that decision because I really didn't want to leave. The content, the community, all of you, the cases, but I felt like circumstances were forcing me into a corner. There were several reasons I almost left. Some I can talk about, some I can't at the moment, but am still dealing with behind the scenes. I can talk about the emotional part of it though. I know some of you don't care, and that's fine, but if someone relates and finds this somewhat valuable in some way, I'll say it. That's fine. You know, I'll rehash this. If not, if you found this invaluable, I'm sorry I've wasted your time. I know to some of you, quitting may not seem like a big deal. It's just YouTube, it's whatever, but this is my livelihood. It is what I do full time. Thanks to those of you who watch these videos, buy merchandise, support on Patreon, or just send kind words in the comments or in your tweets. This community is the reason I am still able to do this full time. I fully don't expect it to always be that way or to last, but where I am in my life, I still love what I do. I really appreciate what I have, and I'm trying to not forego that. I am invested in everything I put out on this channel, and if you're about to say, suck it up, go get a real job, I legitimately was looking at jobs locally, filling out job applications at one point, which I don't even think you knew. I started to fill out a couple of job applications because I was so convinced that this chapter in my life was meant to be closing. I have never worked harder, longer hours in my life than creating content on YouTube. And yes, there are benefits to this job. The nature of being a content creator, though, also comes with its difficulties like any occupation. It is sort of the norm on YouTube to pump out as much content as possible. And because of this, YouTube became more than a full-time job for me. And I don't just mean working a few extra hours a week. I mean losing sleep and losing sanity, saying no to anything social, having my face buried in my social media almost constantly because I feel like there's this obligation to respond to everyone, that I can't ever do enough, and that I'm not allowed to or don't have the time to or can't afford to take a step back and just breathe. But mostly, I mean pushing those closest to me away, denying myself help because I had convinced myself the content I make doesn't emotionally affect me, and the increased paranoia, anxiety, and depression as a result of overworking myself and constantly researching these cases. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm over here like thinking I'm on the level with law enforcement or families or detectives or anything like that. They're out in the field doing the real legwork, and I can't imagine the impact it has on them. That being said, making these videos isn't something I take lightly. Whether that be with production or research, writing, or involving myself in it, which was the part I was denying, I am a highly empathetic person. I cry at the drop of a hat. When I see someone else crying, it's easy for me to cry. Or I know someone else is in pain, it's easy for me to cry. So researching these cases can sometimes feel emotionally taxing in several different ways. I've told myself for a while that I'm not allowed to feel upset or experience pain of any sort concerning anything in my life, even if that pain or sadness is warranted, because compared to the people who have lost loved ones to homicide or have had loved ones go missing, compared to law enforcement trying to find the identities of these John and Jane Does, compared to the suffering families, what is my pain compared to all of that, really? I should have nothing to complain about. But it's gotten to the point where I am so paranoid, doing almost anything outside leaving my house feels dangerous. In every situation I'm in, from something mundane to the abnormal, I can pinpoint in my head a case where someone went missing in the very situation I'm in, or someone was killed or assaulted in the situation I'm in. And yes, bad things can happen at any moment. But this wasn't just the knowledge that something could go wrong at any moment. It was the overwhelming feeling that it was a certainty. I remember going hiking with this dude off camera over here, and it got dark earlier than we anticipated, and we were traipsing in the woods without any light or anyone else around, and I just sort of accepted that we were going to die, that people would see our faces in the morning news, we would be missing, and no one would ever find our bodies. Now, obviously that didn't happen. But this feeling that every moment is my last, that something horrible is constantly on the verge of happening, no matter where I am at, who I am with, has been, is crippling too strong of a word? I don't know. It's been hard. And with all of this paranoia comes a lot of anxiety, and from that, my depression has definitely drastically worsened, because I felt I wasn't really living if I was too afraid to do anything but be at home and work nonstop. It's not only been affecting me and my ability to lead a normal life, but my family's lives as well. So clearly, when anyone asked if researching these cases ever affected me negatively, and I was all like, nah, I just find other stuff to do, I think I was in denial, because I felt my pain or the negative effects it was having on me weren't relevant, even if it was hindering my quality of life and just the way I live. But I want to say something I've been grappling with and something I want to say to all of you, is that your pain matters. We always say the darkness matters on this channel, because it does. And I think it's easy to forget that it applies to all walks of life. Whether it be the missing, nameless, murdered, or other matters in your life. It's why I like to focus on it so much, because I feel like a lot of people forget things like that. We don't pay attention to the darkness. We sort of try and deny it or ignore it. But your pain matters too, and it's okay to feel it. It's okay to have emotions. And I think a lot of you already know this or have been telling me this, but in your own ways. But the light matters too. Shocking, I know. You asked to see some sillier content, or you missed the lighthearted videos because it was a break from the darkness. When you are navigating dark, tumultuous waters in your life, things that may not be fun to face, but you sort of have to face them to progress as a human or as an individual, and you explore that darkness, you have to remember to come up for air every so often, to face the sunlight too. Your demons and issues may pull you back under. You may dive under and still have answers you're searching for within yourself, but the light matters too, just as much. We face our demons so we can stand in the light, not so we can live in the darkness. And I'm not talking spiritually here, I'm just using metaphors and shit to get my point across. What's been missing from my life, from this channel, what I have refused to let in at points, was light. Fearing I would forget those who have been forgotten, or injustice. Fearing that people only want to see the dark content. Fearing, I don't know, something within me. Fearing the lightness in my own life. Because darkness is a lot of what I've known. But that's not the case. And I know it, and you know it. You definitely know it, because so many of you have been telling me that you have missed the older style videos, the sillier videos, and that you need a break too. So we're essentially, what this is coming down to is we're letting the light in a little. What exactly does that mean for the channel? Well, firstly, it means I'm not going anywhere. I'm ready to see what I'm capable of doing with one foot in each the light and the dark. If I do keep doing it and it just wasn't meant to be, I will completely accept that. That's fine. Secondly, it means for the first time ever, I will be bringing on help behind the scenes, because for so long, I have insisted on doing everything myself, and clearly it is not sustainable for me to go it alone anymore. Everything involved in the video making process will still be handled by myself, so researching, writing, appearing on camera, voiceovers, editing, but my wonderful life partner and best friend, Alex, will be helping out from now on. You might see him in passing in an occasional lighthearted video on this channel, but he'll mainly be focused on behind the scenes stuff having to do with social media, and the business side of things, along with some of our other projects we've got going. So Alex, say hi from back there.
Hi from back there.
So this channel is now a team effort between Alex and myself, and of course, all of you, the community. Ultimately, what I think I'm trying to say is now there will be some lighthearted videos on this channel, TLDR, if you didn't care to hear the rest of it. Interspersed with case videos. So case videos aren't going anywhere, don't think that. And subscriber story times are still going to be there as well. But the light videos will be to break up the darkness for myself and for you. It could be anything from a recommendations video, which I did an eon ago, for books, movies, TV shows, video games, etc. It could be a skit. it could be just a talk on an aspect of mental health that I experience, and would like to share or would like your input. I would really like to do some sort of series about trying to get my shit together and be a functioning and balanced adult, because I feel like I'm so far from that. And trying things that are not supposed to, but just that are going to be good for me, because I don't do much outside of my normal routine to the point where it's almost not good. I want the lighthearted stuff to entertain you, maybe lift your spirits or motivate you or advise you, just be something that you come to when you need something to feel better about. Or just be something I've never done before and have the ability to be creative again with these videos. I might take you on new adventures or endeavors with me to sort of force myself out of my house, which I don't leave very often. I want to have some fun and some laughs and try new things. And if there's anything you guys want to see, please feel free to suggest it in the comments or tweet at me or whatever. Having Alex aboard also means I'll have the freedom to expand beyond just this channel into other projects and be consistent about it, because we have the podcast, but it's been hard to be consistent. Things that he and I have going on. So like the podcast, which we're bringing to video format very soon, and possibly like a cover channel we've talked about, because you and I both really love music and we love the action of creating music. So that means I'll also be able to dedicate the time I spent doing things Alex is now responsible for, to writing that horror novel that I've been talking about my whole life, trying to write my whole life. So there's that too. But lastly, what this means is I owe you all a huge thank you for sticking with me while I take a step back and catch my breath and figure out where my next step should be and push forward. And bringing on help wouldn't even be possible if it weren't for all of you. And a big thanks to Alex, who talked me out of some serious panic attacks, some serious rash decisions, has been nothing but supportive and was completely happy to take on behind the scenes stuff and make this a team effort. So thank you.
Wow.
With all of that out of the way, let's get into the questions part. And I asked for questions both for myself and Alex so that you guys can get to know him a little bit, since he'll be behind the scenes and be a part of this team. And I know you all are always so respectful, so please welcome him respectfully. Thank you. Recording? Are you having fun? What are you doing?
Let me find my questions.
Uploading. Can you be uploaded? YouTube Q&A.
Hola.
Hola. This is Alex.
That's me. I'm Alex.
This is my best friend. He's my life partner. I'm looking at the monitor. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not used to seeing someone else on the monitor.
There's two of us now.
I know, it's weird. I'm used to just seeing my outlines. This is, I don't want to say boyfriend. I hate that word.
Fiance?
Fiance. Yeah. This is my fiance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the obvious choice for me.
Right. This is from Lizzie on YouTube, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have screenshots, but it's hard to tell where they're from. What case has stuck with you the most, or you find yourself thinking about often? Mainly Leo Chi right now. I think about that case a lot because it took the cases that take me a lot of time to research and get up tend to be the ones that stick with me the most because there's just a lot to go through. So, this is from Tinkly Pine. That's a hilarious name. Look at the avatar.
Tinkly. That's pretty good.
Love your work, cayliegh. Been a fan since 90,000. That's a long time ago. Thank you.
We haven't even gotten to that year yet.
Oh my god. My question is, what inspired you to start Dark Matters, and how do you select your cases? Dark Matters was sort of the love child of missing unsolved mysteries and things like Forensic Files, which I watched a crazy amount growing up, probably to the point where I'm corrupted now.
Maybe.
But
that was good TV back then.
right, and a lot of what you see on YouTube isn't before all this mystery YouTuber stuff kind of came about. It was mostly list videos when you had to deal with true crime.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I was looking for a place to do an entire case in a single video, and so I thought I would make it for myself. And there might have been something out there like that on YouTube at the time, but I wasn't aware of its existence. How do I select my cases? I have an Excel spreadsheet I've been using, which sounds it's a disturbing spreadsheet to have on your home computer. Right. Just files and files of unsolved homicides and missing persons reports.
It's a magnificent piece of Excel, though.
It is.
It's pretty cool.
That it is. It took me a while to develop. I am rather proud of the development of it. But I keep a spreadsheet. It's sorted by last name of a victim. If there's not a last name, if it's someone, John, Jane Doe, I have a section for that. But I'll go through there. I'll highlight cases that I know I want to cover, and the cases that come to the Excel spreadsheet are from the what's it called? There's an online submission form. I don't know if I've told the whole audience about this yet, so here we go. There's an online case suggestion submission form that you can fill out if you have a case you would like me to cover. The spreadsheet has almost 700 cases right now, and more to be logged, like hundreds more from that spreadsheet. So I can't ever guarantee I will cover something that you submit, but there's no harm in submitting it. And that is where most of those cases have come from that I've learned about, is from your guys' suggestions. So link for that will be in the description. It's been in the description of the last 6 or 7 videos, I think, but it's been kind of hidden. I wanted to try and get through all of them before announcing it to the larger part of the audience, because I launched it on Twitter and to my patrons. Yeah. And I wrote a community post about it, I think, but I know it's going to get kind of overwhelmed once you guys all know about it, the full audience. So I was trying to get through them all, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, she waited to announce this on a video until after I started working for her too. So I'll be going through that.
He'll be dealing with those.
I'll be doing all of that.
I mean, I still look at the spreadsheet and decide what cases to do, but he'll be doing most of the logging because that takes a lot of time.
And a big axe. A real big axe.
Logging.
Yeah.
Oh. This is my life.
I would also say that it's important to mention that a lot of your choices come from things that don't have a lot of publicity that you want people to know about.
Yeah, there's been occasional ones I've covered that have a bit more publicity than usual. Yeah. But I try to reserve episodes for the things that would do well from exposure, because that's sort of the main aim here. Why did you delete the Blair Witch video from Gamonex? Because I didn't like it. It was bothering me that it was up there. I didn't like how it turned out, and I deleted it.
It's a fair choice.
From Morgan, use this one. That's the username. This isn't something I think you will answer in the video. I am just curious, could you start posting a little bit of more monsters from around the world videos? I love them so much, and just wondering. Also, you're great, by the way. That's nice. I don't think I'm that great. Pretty mediocre, actually.
I think you're pretty great.
I know you do. You're
These people do too.
You're biased.
There's more people here to agree that you're great than there are people to not.
You're all biased.
Sure.
I just haven't had the urge to do that. And I think it's because I get a lot of that fascination out when I watch like horror movies and TV shows. That sort of satisfies the hunger for that kind of content for me. So I just haven't been interested in doing it in a while. Can't say never. Can't say I will either. Cassidy is not cool. I think you're cool, Cassidy. Look at the picture.
Yeah, she's totally cool. She's a dog person.
It's a Snapchat filter. What's your guys' favorite colors?
Gray.
Purple.
Alright, cool.
Vicaria Gori? Can you tell me what editing program you use? I just love your content and presentation. I use Final Cut Pro X. I started what?
X.
I don't know. That's what I have to research every time I have a troubleshooting problem.
It's 10.
Is it? Is that why it's called? Am I stupid?
I have no idea.
But that's what I use. I started out using iMovie. I know a lot of people use Adobe After Effects, which is way more complicated than I can handle at the moment. So I'm sort of the in-between, which is Final Cut Pro X. This is from Mary Latorre, I think. Latorre. Have you thought about getting a show similar to Forensic Files? Your voice is perfect for it. I know the police and others in that field get burnt out, so the horrible things they see, do you get that? Yeah, I think that was kind of what this whole video was sort of addressing. Fun fact, I do, when I'm writing the script and editing it, in my head, I'll say the things that are in my script in that guy's voice.
Laura Dean had no choice.
Yeah. So I make sure that it sounds okay when it's read out loud.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm constantly playing that dude's voice in my head. And it's so recognizable, it's easy to do.
And you've matched his sort of like calming tone about these horrible things.
I guess.
Yeah. Because he's always really calm and cool. Like
I try not to watch my videos after I edit them. That's enough of me.
You've seen it way more than you should have.
Reign of Galeon, does he forgive Keemstar?
What's Keemstar?
It's not. He's into a different internet culture.
Yeah. You want to start talking about like ancient Egyptian pyramids? Let's do it.
Or Alan Watts.
Alan Watts, that's another
Game
good one.
Grumps.
Game Grumps. Kurzgesagt. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that is.
That's the In a Nutshell, the cartoons that are like teaching you stuff.
Oh, yeah, you watch a lot of that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So he knows YouTube, just a different part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep looking at the monitor. Fine.
Okay.
I gotta change the camera. Okay, ready? Stop moving. Angie T asks, what was the happiest moment of your life and Alex's life so far, and the worst moment? I don't know that I have a worst moment, just because every moment you go through kind of takes you to where you are. I have a moment where I was most afraid.
Yeah.
That it was all going to end.
Yeah. Which one's that?
We were driving back from a concert, and we were going through Joplin, Missouri, and this was in May of 2011. And if you don't know, the day we happened to be driving through was the day of one of the worst tornadoes in modern history. And we were driving through the storm, and I thought we were going to die. He was with me. And I panicked. I completely panicked. And I was the one driving, and the hail was nuts.
Yeah.
The trucks were overturning. The wind was unbelievable. All of the overpasses had people under it already, so you just keep driving, trying to find
the next one.
Right. And like we knew driving up it would look like it was looking bad. Yeah. But then it started to look green.
Real bad.
And black, and we were like,
it was real bad.
And then it just suddenly got real bad. So
yeah. I mean, we didn't actually stop and pull over underneath a bridge or anything until we got to the point where literally all of the vehicles that were on the other side of the bridge were also on, like, tipped over onto the side of the road.
Lots of tipped semis.
Yeah. I mean, the semi-truck drivers were still climbing out of their trucks whenever we stopped. Like, we were watching them get out. So the tornado had, like, come right across the highway, like, moments before we got there and stopped. And
we can tell, like, the whole story in a different video if we want, because there's sort of like a funny little thing about it. But yeah, that was scary for me.
It was scary for me too.
Yeah, I know. I just know you didn't panic.
One of the worst moments of my life, I had a roommate who was kind of going through a hard time with a girlfriend at the time, and I was at work. And I got a phone call from his girlfriend telling me to come home because she thought he was going to kill himself. And so I had to rush home and like actually let the police into my house and go wake him up and make sure he was okay. And he's still here with us. And he's like my best friend and still is one of my best friends. And that was probably like the worst moment of my life, was like running home not knowing if like my best friend was like awake or not. Yeah. But we were able to take care of it and get him to the hospital. Yeah. That was pretty bad. Yeah. I'd say the happiest moment of my life was whenever I looked at you and asked if you wanted to get married this fall, and you said, "Oh, yeah."
That is pretty much how I said it. Yeah. Because like you asked me that on a super stressful day. Yeah. We had the lease on this place. We were moving in together. And we were, the same day, both of us were trying to clear out of our other respective places. We had separate places before. Yeah. And everything was going wrong. It had been a long day. Everything was still going wrong. And like, I was in the middle of just like being like, this fucking sucks. And, you know, just what I always do. And just out of nowhere.
Well, I just like knew right then that like, yeah, I'm going to be with her the rest of my life. Like, because I'm.
Yeah, if you can stand me complaining.
I just
made I stick around.
Just with how bad the day had been.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Being able to just flip it around like that was cool.
Yeah.
And probably, in recent memory, probably the best day I've had.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question.
From Carissa Ann. For the Q&A, if you had to choose, what would be your favorite story you told? Whether you liked the mystery, the ending, or the creepiness level. I think they're talking about subscriber story times.
I would agree.
Maybe? Probably that one I did. I think it was written by Sarah. It was the one where this group of 4 go out into the woods and then they start hearing sounds that they're making in their campsite echoed back at them in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
I remember that one. That was cool.
That was fun to play around with, and it was genuinely like creepy.
Not to mention a scary thing that's not typically considered a scary concept.
Yeah.
It's very,
stuff
very
like
creative.
that freaks me out.
It's very creative.
If it's like a normal thing that's suddenly abnormal, I'm like, I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
From Hannah Gandara. Why is your Twitter private? I tried to follow. Frowny face. I was about to say smiley face. I had to make my Twitter private. That was for several reasons that are personal and for a reason I can't talk about yet. But, yeah. Sorry. You can still request to follow. He goes through those. I
actually just went through like
50. Hopefully that won't be permanent, but it was just necessary for my own sanity. Jacket on Twitter or Glocket Jacket. Where can I buy your stuff and do you ship to the UK? I have a Teespring store. I'll link that in the description. And I believe they ship to the UK. I think they ship almost anywhere. It can take a while longer for international orders based on what I've heard from other subscribers though. So okay, this is from Fumi, who is a dear patron and a lovely individual. 2 questions because I'm curious about both. How did you and Alex meet, and did you ever expect YouTube to become your main job when you first started out? No to the second question.
And we met in theory.
What?
We met in theory.
Music theory. We met in music theory. Stop doing that.
I can't help
Stop
it.
doing
I can't help it. We met in music theory.
We met in music theory in high school.
My junior year.
My senior year. And then, but we didn't start dating until I was in college and you were in your senior year.
Yeah.
So.
It was like the summer before my senior year.
Right.
Yeah.
Gyro or Lars Honey Toast?
That's a good name. It's a good handle.
What does your workout and or runs consist of? Also, will you be showing any meditation videos? Don't know about the last one. I don't meditate too often right now. And I'm always confused by meditation videos because if I'm just watching someone meditate, I'm not meditating. I don't know. That's just me though. I don't run. I mostly do weightlifting and a couple of HIIT sessions a week. But
that's like sprint jog.
That's mainly what my working out consists of. I do like plyometrics. Like I use Fitness Blender. They're a YouTube couple who produced fitness videos. They're awesome. And you can do them at home. So I'll do those plyometrics. But then I go to the gym to do like legs and an arm day, and all that stuff.
Basically anything that takes more than a couple free weights to do.
Yeah, I'm real into fitness. You guys just don't really ever hear about that. Even though I ate my feelings for 8 months. From Bree, what would you both say your all-time favorite movie is?
The Time Machine.
You showed me that.
It's like a 1960s movie based off of the H.G. Wells book.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it and you think that you're interested in time travel movies, you're missing out on the first movie about time travel that was ever really truly made in depth, and also explored so many like really sensitive topics about humanity through the process of watching this guy travel through time. It was just mind-blowing. It really goes to show you just like where we were at philosophically even 100 years ago as a culture, and it's like it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know, it's an amazing movie, The Time Machine.
My movie's also about time and space.
Yeah?
You guess?
Interstellar?
Yeah. Interstellar.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
Which is
I don't include horror movies in that. Like, that's a separate category.
That's a totally
This is just like a
thing.
general movie. This is from CJ Gatsby. This was an interesting question, which is why I included it. Cayliegh, how do you dress in your day-to-day life? How would you describe your style? What books do you like that aren't horror or true crime? And you can answer this too. But I think a lot of people think that I used to wear the dresses, and now I just sort of wear whatever I can find that fits my body at the moment. I am a cross between either a bag lady, or just being comfortable, which they call athleisure nowadays. Yeah. So I walk the line between those two things, I would say.
Thanks, Daniel Tosh, for athleisure.
Athleisure.
Yeah.
What books do you like that aren't horror or true crime? We're actually in my office, and my bookshelves are over there. That's hard, because my favorite books are horror. Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter's a good one. Yeah, because most of my favorite books are horror, and I don't really read much true crime because that's sort of my job. So I sort of don't want to. I just try to keep that separate. Oh, how appropriate. From Zav the Striker, Zave the Striker. Sorry. Zave the Striker. I'm ruining this. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Wow, big question. Big answer for a big question. I don't know.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere different than where I'm currently sitting.
Yeah.
What if 10 years from this moment I'm sitting right here? I would like to have made a little more progress on my hopes of becoming a published author. Still be doing something I love, whatever that is. Maybe it'll be this. Maybe it'll be something else.
I would love for the chance in the next 10 years to get one of my orchestral pieces premiered by a professional orchestra.
That'd be cool.
I've had a number of orchestras playing my music, but they were all like younger orchestras, like school orchestras and things like that. Yeah. And I've never gotten the chance to, actually hear music that I've written on the hands of like, a group of like 75 professional musicians who are like really care about it, and a conductor who's essentially recomposing the song for me. Like, yeah. By the way, if you think a conductor doesn't do anything, you're so wrong.
Yeah, in 10 years, if I don't have my shit together, I'm gonna cry. Don't mind me. Just trying to get my shit together.
Does anyone have their shit together?
I think that's what I'm learning as an adult, is that is the second you start to feel like you have your shit together, you learn you don't, and life just... Been sitting here for about an hour and a half now. I think it's been that long.
It's been a while.
Lots of equipment malfunctions. But because you are taking on some other tasks, and because the audience, all of you out there, have been so supportive, we are able to invest in more equipment. We'll be getting the podcast camera, possibly like a vlogging style type camera for the lighter hearted videos, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
But we also want something we maybe carry around with us,
Yeah, something like that. Better lights, because these are like bothering me. But just thank you all, if you've made it to the end of this video, for supporting in whatever way you do that, whether it's a view or you buy merch or you're a patron. Like, really, any of it means the world to me and to him. Yeah. Okay, I think we're all done. Yeah, thank you guys for being nice and respectful and welcoming to Alex. Thanks. I'm preemptively assuming you will be. He's my best friend. He's a wonderful, smart, charismatic, talented individual. So I know he's going to be able to handle behind the scenes things, no problem, and allow me to do all the video stuff and continue doing that and try some new stuff. Yeah. Have a little bit more balance.
I'm excited for new stuff.
Yeah, me too. A little bit more balance to the channel and my life. I'm going to try.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, cool. Oh, also, new merch coming soon. Like 5 or 6 designs at some point.
So keep both your eyes out.
Both of them. But yeah, I think that's it. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day, night, midday, afternoon tea, whatever time it is where you are. Thank you. Stay safe.